Good morning, children. I welcome you all for the next session. The next heading is Features of MBO. So, without a great things in business are never done by one person, they are done by a team of people. So, always we have to work successfully with the help of team only. So, teamwork will be successfully. So, great things in business are never done by one person, they are done by a team of people. So, the features of MBO, management by objectives, is first one, an attempt is made by the management to integrate the goal of an organization and individual. So, first one, to integrate the goal of an organization. This will lead to effective management. Then second one, MBO tries to combine the long run goal of an organization with short run goals. So always short run goals with combined with long run goals. Then management tries to relate the organization goals with society goals. Then MPO emphasizes not only goals but also an effective performance. It paws constant attention to refining, modifying, and improving the goals and changing the approaches to achieve the goals on the basis of experience. So, to integrate the goal, to combine long run and short run, then try to relate the organizational goals with society. Then MPO emphasize not only goal but also performance. And then it plays a constant attention to refining, modifying, improving the goals. And then to increase the organizational capability, a high degree of motivation and satisfaction, recognize the participation of employees, then aims at replacing the exercise of authority with consultations, then encourages a climate of trust, goodwill, and will to perform. So, these are the main features of management by objectives. So, the management by objectives is a SMART method. It's a specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time bound. Then, process of MBO. The MBO process is characterized by the balance of objectives of the organization and the individual. The process is explained below. First one, performance, defining organizational goals or objectives, then define goals of each section, fixing key result areas, performance of appraisal, providing feedback, performance evaluation, then monitoring performance. These are the process of MBO. So first one, defining organizational objectives. So in every organization, their main aim is to define the objectives. So initially, organizational objectives are framed by the top level employees of an organization. Then it moves downwards. So from top to lower, the objectives are framed. So the definition of organizational objective states why the business is started and exists. Then goals of each section. Objectives for each section, department or division are framed on the basis of overall objective of the organization. So period within which these objectives should be achieved is also fixed. So goals or objectives are expressed in a meaningful manner. Then fixing key result areas. Key result areas are fixed on the basis of organizational objective premises. So these are arranged on a priority basis. So key result areas are profitability, market standing, and innovation, etc. And then setting subordinate objectives or target. There should be a free and frank discussion between the superior and his subordinate. So subordinate are induced to set standard themselves by giving an opportunity. If they will get opportunity, they will induce to improve themselves. So if subordinates are allowed to do so, they may set high standard and the chances of their accomplishment are higher. Then matching resources with objectives. The objectives are framed on the basis of availability of resources. So to the availability of resources only we can set our goals. If the resources are not available, we cannot reach the goal. So if certain resources, it may be personal or raw material, are not adequately available, the objectives of organization are changes accordingly. So there is a need for matching resources with objectives. Next, the available resources should be properly allocated and utilized. Then periodical review meeting. So the superior and subordinates should hold meeting periodically in which they discuss the progress and the accomplishment of objectives. The periodical review meeting is held during the period set for achieving the objectives. So weekly or twicely or monthly, the subordinate and the superior must meet themselves. Then appraisal of activities. At the end of fixed period, for achieving the objectives, there should be a discussion between the superior and subordinate. So before finishing the work, the superior and subordinate must meet themselves and discuss. At the end of the fixed period, for achieving the objectives, there should be a discussion. The superior should identify the reason for failure of achieving objectives. The problem faced by the subordinates should be identified and steps should be taken to tackle such problems. Then, reappraisal of objectives. An organization is a part of the dynamic world. So there are a lot of changes within a short period. The survival and growth of a modern business organization largely depends upon putting up with changing conditions. So the top management executives should review the organizational objectives to frame the objectives according to the changing situation. So according to the changing situation, the organization should change their decision and objectives or goals. So these are the process of MBO. Organizational objectives, goals of each section, fixing key result areas, setting subordinate objectives or target, matching resources with objectives, periodical review meeting, appraisal of activities and reappraisal of activities. Then evaluation question, which is the first step in the process of MBO? Which is the first step in the process of MBO? Then you find the answer. Fixing key result area, appraisal of activity, matching resources with objectives and defining organizational objectives. What is the answer? Defining organizational objectives answer. Then expand MBO. Initially the organizational objectives are framed by the dash level of employees of an organization. Then it moves downwards. That is keywords. The premises department are framed on the basis of fixed. So periodically accomplishment review meeting. So this is for your evaluation. Then advantages of MBO. Advantages to the organization, to the superior and to the subordinate. So the advantages are together. Not only for the superior, not only for the organization, to subordinate, to all. First one, to the organization, they have to plan better. Then efficient management, clear organizational rules, increases the level of commitment, facilitate control. These are the advantages for organization. So planning, efficient management, clear organizational, increase the level of commitment and facilitate control. Then to superior, performance evaluation, better guidance, accelerate motivation of subordinate, coordinating individual effort to group effort. Then subordinate workers simplify the goal of achievement, increases job satisfaction, initiates self-direction and self-control, encourages innovative thinking and ideas, establishes cordial relation with superior, then motivate to perform better. So this is for subordinate. Goal achievement, job satisfaction, self-direction, encourage innovative thinking and ideas, establishment of cordial relation with superiors, and motivate to perform better. So the advantages of MBO, managers are involved, objectives, settings at various level of management under MBO, and this commitment ensures hard work to achieve them. And then MPO process help the manager to understand their role. So managers objective settings and understand their roles. Then manager recognize the need for planning. Then MPO helps subordinate also involved in goal settings. Then a department does not work at cross purpose with another department. Then systematic evaluation of performance is made with the help of MBO. MBO gives a criteria of performance. It helps to take correct actions. Then delegation of authority is easily done with the help of MBO. Then MBO motivate workers by job enrichment and make the job meaningful. The responsibility of a worker is fixed through MPO. Then decision is taken by management very quickly. So these are the 11 points. The above 11 points are the advantages of MBO. So this is the 5 mark long answer, 5 mark question. What are the major advantages of MBO? So totally 11 points are given. So you have to write at least 7 points. Advantages of MBO. And then disadvantages of MBO. This is also a 5 mark question. The disadvantages of MBO arise due to the application of the MBO, which are discussed below. So first one, MBO fails to explain the philosophy. Most of the executive do not know MBO works. What is MBO? Why is MBO necessary? And how participants can benefit by MBO. Then second one, MBO is a time-consuming process. So much time is needed by senior people for framing the MBO. Then MBO emphasizes only on short-term objectives and does not consider the long-term objectives. First point, MBO fails to explain the philosophy. Then MPO is a time-consuming process. Then MPO emphasizes only on a short-term objectives. Then fourth one, the status of subordinate is necessary for the proper objective settings. But this is not possible in the process of MPO. Then MPO is a rigid one. Objectives should be changed according to the changing circumstances. So external or internal, it is not. If it is not, the planned result cannot be obtained. So objectives should be changed according. So if there is any changes will arise, the objectives should be changed. But it is not done in the management by objectives, so it is a rigid one. So these are the disadvantages of MBO. So advantages of MBO and disadvantages of MBO both are two different 5 mark questions. So in this lesson 4 5 mark questions is given. What are the major advantages of MBO? First 5 mark. Then explain the various disadvantages of MBO, third 5 mark. Then second and fourth next heading we will see the next class.